So let's talk true biblical prophecy by using astrology. Now, it's important to know that astrology is literally a branch of astronomy. And astronomy, both of these are their own sciences. You could go to college and take a college level course. And I know as an apostolic Pentecostal tongue talking spirit filled believer, we've been taught that it's witchcraft when it's literally science. Wow. Okay, so when we begin to look at the definition of astronomy, astronomy is literally the study of the heavens, the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, and their impacts on the earth. Astrology is the study of astronomy and their impacts on people, places, things, and future events. This is why when Joseph had his dream, he used astrology. This is why when Daniel began to prophesy according to date, time, and season, it lined up and was proven to take place a lot of times through astronomical events such as lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, so on and so forth. And when we begin to look at the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, Yeshua began to prophesy mad lunar eclipse. And in the time of Muhammad, whose name is the same as Mahayim, whose name means comforter, whose name shares the same root as Noah, whose name means rest, there was 251 lunar eclipses during the time of Muhammad, proving that Yeshua used the planetary alignments in order to prophesy the kingdom that will last forever that Daniel prophesied, in congruency with the prophecy of Jacob when Jacob said that the scepter would belong to Judah, who Yeshua belonged to, until Shiloh comes. Shiloh means tranquil one or peaceful one. Muhammad came with peace. Shiloh also shares the same root with Shelah, which means placenta, new wine, which is what Isaiah prophesied when he begins to say that one would come with the new covenant. This is Shiloh, this is Shelah, this is the new wine skin. So when we begin to look at the blood moon, this is mentioned in the book of Joel, the book of Matthew, the book of Revelation. The blood moon is taking place in the constellation of Virgo. Now, the reason that this is essential to understand is because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, as is Gemini. So if you're a Gemini, if you're a Virgo, this full moon is going to be important for you. Also, if you are a mutable sign, meaning that you are a Gemini, a Pisces, a Sagittarius, and something else. It might be a Virgo. I don't know. As y'all can see, I'm not like really, like super learned. I'm just learned enough because, as I said, as Apostolic Pentecostal PK, we were taught that all of these things were wickedness when it's literally right in the Bible and in our college courses. Virgo is the constellation of Virgin, which according to the book of Revelation, Yeshua was born in the constellation of Virgo. He was a Virgo. The book of Revelation literally gives us the planetary alignment so that we can begin to see when these planets would align this way so that we can accurately get the birth of Yeshua, which would be September 11th in 3 BC at 6:18 p.m. 6:18 is going to bring you, it's not pi, but it's the number of life. I can't think of what it's called. 18 in Hebrew is literally the number of life. 6 is going to be the wav, or the nail, the hook. When he was nailed to the cross, the Shema nails us or hooks us, Deuteronomy 6:4. When Yeshua began to say that there is only one God, he was quoting the Shema. Shema Israel, Adonai Echad, Adonai Eloheinu. Shema does not only mean hear, it literally means to obey or to submit. Shema shares the same root as Islam, which means submit to one God, just as the Shema begins to tell us. The constellation of Mercury, the planet of Mercury, rules communication. It's also essential to know that you have to be careful for trickster spirits during this time, because where you begin to see the great communicator, you will also begin to see tricksters. So be weary of itching ears. Watch your communication, because this is also going to see that we are in the constellation of Pisces. The Pisces is the diploid, the two fish, the zygote, the multiplication that we began to see when Yeshua was in Pisces and he began to feed with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. This is a time and a season where you can multiply. You can multiply good, or you can multiply bad. You can tap into the Mercury energy spirit, because energy is literally a scientific term. Everything has energy. Everything has a frequency. You can measure the frequency that which something vibrates. Sound has a frequency. Music has frequency. Energy is literally the power behind something that causes it to work. The vital life force in the Hebrew is the ruach, which is the energy. It's the vital life force. These are all scientific terms. Science in Hebrew is mada. Mada, it also not only means science, but it means knowledge and thought. Mada shares the same root as yada. So when we begin to look at this Virgo, this is the time for us to literally tap in with the Most High and ask him, break my heart with what breaks your heart. Remove from me anything that's not like you, and cause me to hear you and to see you clearly, and remove away from me anything that will come to tamper with my emotions, because Pisces is a delusional spirit. It's ruled by the planet of Neptune. And with Neptune comes great delusions and comes great illusions. So in this season, just expect some illusions to begin to fall. Expect some veils to begin to break. Expect some people to begin to manifest before you. And you have to accept it, because Mercury has come back or retrograde into the Pisces system, so that you can begin to shed out before we enter into the spring season of the spring equinox. So take this time out to communicate with the Most High, and not to make any brash decision, to come up with your money-making ideas. So after Mercury retrograde, we coming into the spring equinox, and you can take off running the race with the power of the Aries, which is a fire sign. And you can take the fire of everything that you have planned under this blood moon, of the multiplication, of the shedding that you are going through before the season of spring begins to fall in. So this is how you begin to accurately prophesy, by using astronomy and astrology. The blood moon in Pisces is taking place in the constellation of Virgo. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. That's why I don't like Pisces. They're very delusional, very chaotic. But I love it because it gives us chance to multiply. And the Bible begins to tell us where 2 or 3 are gathered, that El Elyon is in the midst. So begin to make some contracts and some covenants, and just be willing to see what is being brought out to you. And watch your communications. Don't get into no arguments with no Geminis, no Pisces, no Sagittariuses, no Virgos. Just ignore us right now. And if you happen to be crying, happen to be sleepy, struggling with insomnia, your thoughts are all over the place, and you have some of these astronomical placements in your birth chart, this is why. Just relax. If any of your exes come back, I ain't got no advice for you there. But yeah, this is astronomy and astrology in the Bible.